Manever I say ma PENDREAM TV. PENDREAM TV there, I see them yopo.
Throughout Mr. Akufo-Addo's campaign, he never mentioned that he was an economic expert. Mr. Akufo-Addo never told Ghanaians that he had knowledge in economics where he's going to turn the fortunes around. He was going to turn the fortunes where the CD was the 3 Ghana CD, 80 pesos to 1 CD. Mr. Akufo-Addo never said he was going to do that.
He said, Dr. Bawumia.
Mr. Akufo-Addo never told us that he was going to make sure that fuel prices will remain the same, or even it will go beyond where President Mahama left it at a gallon of 14 Ghana cedis. Mr. Akufo-Addo never said he himself would do that. Recently,
no. When it comes to fuel, he said it.
That he is going to reduce.
After that one, we even have the video. That he said it.
He said he's going to reduce it.
Yeah, so if it's a regular thing, you say take it out. Because that one he said
but he never said that he was an economic guru.
No.
He never ran series on economic lectures. He didn't mention that when the fundamentals are not right, the exchange. When Dr. Bawumia was singing all those songs, he didn't join him in the chorus. Why? He believed in Dr. Bawumia's economic prowess. Dr. Bawumia presented his CV to him. He found it so interesting and knew that Ghana cedi to $1 as of 2016 was 3 cedi 80 pesos. And Dr. Bawumia presented his CV to President Nana-Addo, candidate Nana-Addo, that I will turn this 3 cedi 80 pesos to 1 cedi to $1. And Mr. Nana-Addo believed him and brought him up. That is why Kwabena Japan and Co said they gave Dr. Bawumia a waiver to become a vice president. That is, he did not qualify to be a vice president or a running mate in the MPP, but because of his economic prowess and the CV he presented, they gave him the opportunity that come and do magic. Take the CD from 3 cedi 80 pesos that President Mahama left and take it to 1 cedi for us. Dr. Bawumia came to office, and in their first 100 days, he outlined his economic management team members. And you have the video. He was mentioning their names. Dr. Ansei, Dr. Asimesi, Dr. this. And he was the head of the economic management team. In their 100 days, he organized a lecture and told us that he has arrested the dollar and given the keys to the IGP. And therefore, the dollar is not going to go up against the city. And do you know that Dr. Bawumia did billboards when he was doing town hall meetings, going to exhibit his economic management prowess and showing his team members in Ashanti region and other places? What was the town hall meeting meant for? What was the charade meant for? All that he was trying to tell us that he's going to turn Ghana's fortunes around because he was an economist. He told Mr. Akufo-Addo that he had worked at the Bank of Ghana. That is why Mr. Akufo-Addo said, yet Sisika so now to accommodate, because Dr. Bawumia said, there's so much money at the Bank of Ghana. Today, in the history of this country, the Bank of Ghana is empty. There is no money in there. Under Dr. Bawumia. So this is what convinced Mr. Akufo-Addo to choose Dr. Bawumia as his running mate. Then you come, and you have moved us. Let me take you there. So if Dr. Bawumia is telling us today that he is of his own mind, and if he is of his own mind, because I can foresee abebako ensa, and abebako ensa, the early days ensa no, palm wine, it is sweet, but the latter days you cannot drink even 2 thoughts, you will get drunk. And Dr. Bawumia is the latter days of the palm wine. In this context, President Akufo-Addo is the early days palm wine. Dr. Bawumia, you became the head of the economic management team, and you took Ghana's debt from 120 billion to 600 billion as of today. Over 500% increment. Dr. Bawumia, you are the head of the economic management team, and we gave you 3 oil fields as against President Mahama 1 oil field. Dr. Bawumia, you came as a head of the economic management team, received all taxes, received all revenues, received all oil proceeds, over 830 billion, while President Mahama had 248 billion. Revenues given to Dr. Bawumia to manage this country. You took our debt to GDP from 56% to 104%. And today, IMF is giving you 3 years to divide this 104% into 56%. Dr. Bawumia, as the head of the economic management team, and inflation rates. You said President Mahama was incompetent in 2016. Inflation rate was 15.4%. Today, and under President, Dr. Bawumia as the head of the economic management team, inflation went as far as 54.1%. You will be at the shop buying, and the owner can tell you to change, increase the he has increased the cost of the item because the prices has changed. Inflation, all time in the history of this country, and we have never seen this before. Dr. Bawumia as the head of the economic management team, our credit rating, where you saw him attacking President Mahama that Ghana has been reduced, and Ghana, our rating has been reduced to B-. Today, we are at junk, and even when they take us to CCC, which is the lowest ever in the history of this country.
We're at CCC now.
CCC now. It is still the lowest ever. Dr. Bawumia criticized a B-. A B-. And today we are at CCC. Dr. Bawumia as the head of the economic management team. Businessmen who want to expand their businesses, when they go to the bank for loans, the interest rates under President Mahama, that Dr. Bawumia criticized heavily, even under Mills John Mahama, was 15%. Today, President Mahama and Dr. Bawumia, as the head of the economic management team, if you're going to go for a loan, the interest rate is around 40%. Head of economic management team, you have taken monies accrued to 77 billion within a period of 2 years from the central bank. In 2016, President Mahama did not take 1 Ghana cedi from the central bank. That is what we call the artificial printing of money, or the central bank financing. President Mahama never did that. Yet you called him incompetent. Dr. Bawumia, our growth rates under President Mills, President Mahama, 14.4% from 2011, when President Mahama was even a vice president. Today, Dr. Bawumia, what is your growth rate? What is your growth rate? 3.1%. Budget deficits, 2016, it was 6.1%. Today, where is our budget deficit? You have doubled the digits. It's now 12%. This is so unprecedented, and what is so appalling and so sad is that domestic debt exchange. President Mahama never dreamt of touching any citizen's savings. He never even had thought of it, that he was going to touch our people who have devoted their time to serve this country and save their money so that they can live peacefully, buy their drugs, take care of themselves in their old age. President Mahama never touched anybody's money. Today, under Dr. Bawumia as the head of the economic management team, Dr. Bawumia has taken about 100 billion Ghanaian money, about 1.3 million people, pensioners. Their monies have gone to Dr. Bawumia, where President Mahama never thought of. He didn't even dreamt of it. Our debt servicing. When President Mahama was a president, we were paying, we were servicing our debts. We never defaulted. Today, the country has decided that we cannot even pay again. So we are not servicing our debt. That is why, the cedi to dollar rate moved from 17% last year, 2022, to now even, 17 cedis now is around 12.5, 12.7 cedis. Because we are not even paying.
12.5, 12.7?
Now it's more than 12. If you are buying $1, it's more than 12 cedis.
Wow.
And if you are going to change, it's around 11 point something. Yeah. A year by this time, Ghana, 1 Ghana cedi, 1 Ghana cedi to a cedi to $1 was 17 cedis. When you have 17 Ghana cedis, you get $1 under Mr. Bawumia. Where under President Mahama, it was a 3.8. When you have 3 cedi, 80 pesos, you get $1. Under Mr. Bawumia, as the head of the economic management team, you need 17 Ghana cedis to get $1. And because the country has decided that we don't have money to service our debt, we cannot get dollars to go and pay our debt, we are bankrupt. Now it has come to even 12 cedis. And even for that matter, it is costing us because we cannot go to the international market to borrow again. In the history of this country, there is no day that any government came and said we cannot pay our debts. You came to take the incompetent man balance sheet and you borrowed over 13 billion. After your first 4 years, you cannot go out to borrow again. Under Dr. Bawumia, then on an unemployment rate from their own Minister for Employment. He tells us that unemployment rate is 14% as of 2022. And in 2016, unemployment rate was 8.4%. Dr. Bawumia, this is what you gave President Akufo-Addo. Nobody will fault President Akufo-Addo because he said in his State of the Nation's address that the economic excellence is achieving the heights is getting. It is because of you, an excellent vice president. Mr. Akufo-Addo said it. After he said it at the State of the Nation's address, he went on his Twitter page and amplified it for the whole world to know that it is Mr. Bawumia, Alhaji Bawumia, who is helping him manage this economy. Just last Ayawaso West Wagon by-election, we all heard Mr. Akufo-Addo telling everybody that Mr. Alhaji Bawumia is the most intelligent person among all in the MPP. That is why it comes to buttress the point that Mr. Bawumia is the establishment candidate or the system candidate, as Alan Chemate and Co. alluded to it. He said Mr. Bawumia is the most intelligent person in the MPP, and that all the wisdom in the MPP is given to Mr. Bawumia. And this is where you have brought us. Annie, the point of the matter is that
precision, like Okubaku say.
Annie,
He didn't say all the wisdom in the MPP is given to Bawumia. He actually said, let me say it in Akanda, Onuna Nyankopon di Iwiasi Nyasa Nyina Shinity, something of that. But he didn't say that the wisdom of the party.
Say on my pensioners.
No, I'm just laying.
You see, with all the Riasi Nyansa that Dr. Bawumia has, our pensioners are picketing. A nation that our grandparents are calling, not that they are asking the government to give them relief items or something. They are asking the government to give them their own money. Monies that they have budgeted for in their pension days. That at least they will not become burdens to their families and their children. And Dr. Bawumia presided over such economic management team and brought us to this mess. And today you are telling us you have your own mind. Annie, what did you do with Mr. Akufo-Addo? That he always said that you were in charge of the economy. Today, you want to be a president and go and choose another vice president. Then what are you coming to do to us? With all your economic management prowess, you brought us here, ground zero. The economy is bankrupted. In the history of my 30 few years on earth, I have never heard the Bank of Ghana had run losses before. Now the Bank of Ghana the building is just there, there's no money in it. I have never heard our grandparents go to government and tell them that give us our own money. I have never heard it in my few years on earth. And in my adult years on earth, I have never seen inflation going as far as 54%. You are in a shop buying water. If they tell you it's 15 cedis, the next moment they tell you it's 19 cedis. Under Dr. Bawumia. So what new ideas has he got? And Dr. Bawumia, if he had anything good to offer, a man that he claims gave him the privilege above everybody, President Nana thought that there was no wise person in the MPP, and Dr. Bawumia was the best, gave him a waiver, made him a running mate, followed him throughout, gave him the opportunities that others didn't have, even Allah and Co. That is why they appealed. Did all this for you. And the least Dr. Bawumia could have done for Nana was to help him, complement him, build this nation, move it into a better pedestal where President Mahama left us. Today, the IMF is telling Bawumia to go back to cost to our GDP, debt to GDP ratio, the 56% President Mahama left in 2016. IMF is telling Dr. Bawumia to take 3 years to go back there. And you want to tell us you have your own mind. So all this while, the mind that you had, if you meant well for this country, why didn't you use it to support Mr.
But you should appreciate the fact that there should be a why. There must be a why.
There must be a why.
There's possibly
someone
a why.
who wants to be a president one day. If you have this nation at heart, there were nation wreckers destroying this country. People are crying, including your party foot soldiers. Dr. W0efully said it. You never bothered to say a word. You never bothered to do anything. I mean, why? Annie, if you are intelligent and you have read economic textbooks and they have told you how to manage the economy where the fundamentals will not expose you, do you need somebody? Is it a rocket science? Do you need somebody to tell you what to do? Why did we pay Dr. Bawumia vice president's salary when he's doing other things as ministers? You think Nana couldn't afford to get... Now he's gone into other areas, digitalization.
But nobody stops him. I mean, the constitution is not against.
What is the word of the minister? And so you thought Nanado wanted a digitalized man or Mr. Digital. That is why he went for Dr. Bawumia.
Oh no, but that argument.
Nanado told us that he had. Nanado told us that he had an economic management man.
My point
to come and manage the economy.
Point is, you are an economic man or you are an economist. You're responsible for making the economic fundamentals sane. There are other things that you should do that will give you good fundamentals, which you can go into.
So, Annie, the like digitalization it has given us good fundamentals now.
It will help you to, put together your data.
Annie, Dr. Bawumia has digitalized the Ghana CD from 3 CD, 80 pesos to 12 CDs. He has digitalized the Ghana CD.
You can make the argument that way, but you cannot.
Dr. Bawumia has changed the price of Cindy rice from 10 CDs to 130 or 140.
You're advertising.
You know, I'm not, Annie, okay, I won't mention any rice. But ordinary oil that we used to buy 3 years ago, like 25 CDs, 15 CDs, now it's over 200 Ghana cedi. How has the digitalization affected the price of the oil or benefited the poor woman who goes to buy, from his meager salary, buy groceries for the house and take care of his home?
Okay, let me have...
So he do not have any other mind.
Right.
The mind he's got is what he has exhibited. And the facts are clearly with Dr. Kenoforiata, Mr. Kenoforiata in his budget. The point is that President Mahama is the only and the best choice that this country has. He has done it before. His records are there to show. He has held this country well. He was truthful. He was honest. He was very honest about the things that he did when the nation was in crisis. He took us to Senchi. After Senchi brainstorming, we took the document straight to IMF and not even a dot was added or a T was crossed. This is the kind of leadership that we want. Whatever mind that he has, I think he should take it back and go and manage the MPP one day. Because even in the MPP, they have voted a vote of no confidence in him. And he's not fit to be a president. You cannot manage a sector, an economy, and you want us to give you our entire generation, over 31.8 million Ghanaians. We should give them to you under your care. When the little that we gave you, Annie, you couldn't account for it. Right. Rather, you took them into disarray.
Right.
He's not a man fit for this job.